Hello, welcome back. So today we're going to be talking about CVs and what makes or break in terms of an impactful CV, how to make a bulletproof CV that makes you stand out in the middle of so many other CVs that are applying for exactly the same job than you. So I'm Isabelita Castillo. I'm an executive career advisor. I've been helping executives for the last 7 years in how to land their next role. And part of that job and that help is to really make sure their CV is up and shining. So just to avoid any kind of confusion, I'm not going to be talking about aesthetic of your CV in terms of appearance, layout, format, colors. We're going to be talking about content because this is what really matters. I'm sure you have a wonderful taste and you know how to download all the templates and layouts online. So let's talk about what really matters, what really makes you get the job. So I have prepared something in a PowerPoint presentation for this purpose to avoid confusion about layout. Let me share my screen with you. Let's talk about it. Let's jump right into it. Okay. So what is a good CV? What is an outstanding CV versus a standard CV? So a good CV is a CV that really shows impact and is unique. So it's not all about job description because that's very copy-paste. Let's be honest. Anybody can copy-paste a job description, but your impact to the organization as a result of what you have done, including savings, revenue increase, cost cutting, this is what really makes you impactful for the organization and for the job that you're serving. So it's also a CV that's relevant for the job you are applying for. So if you are applying for a job that requires certain skill set and certain experience, that's where you want to highlight and emphasize. Skills. So when talking about skills, choose major skills. You might have 20 wonderful skills that are perfectly fit for the job or for the company you're applying for, but only list the ones that are relevant to the next job. Whether it's for a job description that you have seen all the skills that are relevant, or maybe it's just to a company itself or to a recruiter. So what are the things that you want to have in your next job that you really can prove that you have done, that you're good at? That's how you choose your major skills. And make sure that when you list those skills, they are all represented throughout the experience that you have showcased throughout your CV. Summary, how to make a good summary. It's a walkthrough of your career. So it's 2 or 3 paragraphs. Don't make it too long and too much of kind of a cliches and copy paste of beautiful wording. You really want to talk about yourself. You want to make sure it's easy to read and people are entertained to continue reading the rest. So I have just made up an example here, right? For example, we can start with senior executive. Senior executive is already given the idea, the label, it's already labeling yourself as a senior executive with over 18 years of experience in the consumer goods industry. So if you want to stay in the consumer goods industry, and this is the kind of jobs you're applying for, and this is your experience, and then by all means you mention the industry. Otherwise, you just scratch it out, don't mention industry, mention function. Who is recognized by an outstanding leadership style in bringing people and processes together to achieve corporate goals. Outside of the box thinker, because perhaps the job you're applying for, it requires somebody to be creative, somebody who's going to design, create new strategies. Then you need to represent that here as well. An overachiever, who's able to troubleshoot the most critical problems within tight deadlines. So this is a brief intro highlighting skills that are related to the job you want next. Now, an overachiever, yes, we are repeating it here. We can replace for something else, right? Or just remove the overachiever. Won the employee of the year in 2020 for having successfully doubled the revenue above target through the deployment and development of new strategies. So this is like saying, hey, I mentioned above, I'm an overachiever. And I'm proving to you, I won the employee of the year for this reason. I doubled the revenues, I overachieved. So this is a way to get credibility in what you're saying. Enjoys managing multicultural teams, currently overseeing a remote and local team of over 20 nationalities across EMEA, because you're looking for a job in EMEA. It involves managing remote teams. So you want to show you have done it. And then as a matter of fact, you speak fluent the languages aside from your native language. So it speaks fluent English, native, always indicate the fluency. Don't start mentioning all the basic languages that you have, because it's not relevant, right? If you only speak something basic, like for instance, you speak Japanese basic, how is that helpful to that job, to that company? Leave it out. And learning Arabic, learning Arabic. It's like, wow, really an ongoing interest in multicultural setups, in learning other languages. So this is kind of proving everything you're saying. Outside of work, enjoys playing golf, watching documentaries about innovation, because again, if you are applying for the next role, which is related to innovation, you want to show you really have a genuine interest about it, and help my kids become better thinkers. So this is a way to say, hey, I'm into creative thinking, I'm into creating new ideas for my company, and I help my kids do the same. So that shows like it's a genuine interest in you, and it's a natural thing. It's your natural DNA. You even do this at home. So if you do this at home, you can do it at work as well. A lot of people will say, I love spending time with my family. Well, I think everybody loves spending time with family. It's not really impactful. That's all I want to say. It's not that it's bad. So take something that really creates curiosity. Now, here we're talking about USP. What's unique about you? And how do your hobbies reflect your natural way of being? So let's give another example. If you say, I love and enjoy playing chess on my free time, or snooker, that involves a lot of strategy, a lot of very refined thinking, analytical thinking, sharp focus. And those are part of leadership skills. So if you do this naturally as part of your passion and your hobby, this is easy for you to do at work. So just remember here, we are live here, so there is no filters. We removed the repetition, right? That was oversight from my side. And that's it. We start with one because we already mentioned that we have already overachiever here. And don't leave it italic, the W. Now, the next thing you might want to put in your CV, what are you most proud of? And I've seen this, I loved it. It's the same thing than say some of my achievements. But I think it's really cool and it's really fresh and it's really unique. I've seen this online the other day. I said, you know what, let me implement the idea. So here we go, use 4 examples, don't list a book, because it becomes a bit of over narcissist as well, right? You just want to show about 3 to 4. This way people still want to read everything. Things that show proof of your impact. One Day Employee of the Year 2020. Yes, we did mention this before, but now we only specify in bullet points what I'm most proud of. In case they missed reading your summary, they have a chance to see it now. Position XYZ Bank as the #1 in Sweden to 2019. So all recent, right? Things that are not long ago and maybe now I'm no longer that person. Yes, that was just recent. Saved XYZ company thousands of dollars during a negotiation with suppliers. Oh, then the employer is already thinking, oh, we need somebody like him. He's going to save for us as well. Somebody perhaps that is in supply chain role here. He wants to make sure he talks about how he saved money with suppliers, maintaining the same high level of quality. Now, because it's bullet points, don't start explaining how. Don't give the whole story in the trailer of your movie. This is the trailer of your movie. Let them ask how by an interview. Won the snooker championship of the local community 3 consecutive times. Like, wow, it was not by instinct, it was not luck. The guy is really good. And if he has skills that can get him to win the snooker championship, the chess, the volleyball, whatever it is, means he really has those skills naturally that he can bring to our business and get us results as well, you see. Work experience. Remember, everything we said before, your major skills, things that you summarize that you have done, does it show in the work experience? Remember, it's about, yes, what you have done, but mostly about what was the result, what was the impact for the organization. Does your CV contain the relevant impact metrics, percentages, 20% savings, 20%, 25% increase in revenue? So anything that shows differentiation impact, right? Now, if you are applying for a specific job, then you want also to consider what is most relevant, what keeps repeating that job description. Maybe they mention all the time something related to being a team player, something related to managing remote teams. So you want to reflect much more of those things and the results you brought to the organization by doing those things. Now, in case of CV gap, you don't have to worry about explaining anything here. If there is 1 year gap or more, let you explain. You'll be allowed to explain during a job interview. Forget entirely to worry about explaining details here, right? Because you have such an impactful CV now that they will ask you. If that's a concern, let them ask you. In case of industry change, so remove all the focus from things related to the industry that's not relevant, right? And above all, always remember to check what is the value, what are the values of this company? Usually there are 5 values. You know, what is the mission? Everything, all the old-fashioned things, it's fundamental. Because this way you want to come across and you want to represent that you match company culture, values, mission, aside from having a proof of the things you have done, being impactful for the previous organizations you worked for. Use numbers, whether it's percentage, whether it's dollar value, whether it's restructure in terms of employees reduction, let's say, saving costs for the company. So use numbers within what time frame, within 3 months, within 3 quarters, within 1 year, right? Position the company as rank number 1, number 2, number 3, became one of the top 3 within 1 year. So have a frame, like a framework, be very clear. Would you hire yourself after that? So once you read your CV, review, really switch the head and think, would I hire myself if I were reading the CV? And if I know what job I'm applying for, if I'm the manager now, would I hire myself? And if you have doubt, because we are very biased towards ourselves, then ask a friend, ask the spouse, hey, here is the job description, pretend that you hire me, and look at my CV, is that good? What's missing here? This is always a wonderful exercise. So I hope that was short and sweet, that you know now how to make an impactful CV, and that you're very happy with your own CV from the time being. And I look forward to hearing from you. Let me know what's your key takeaway. Let me know what you thought about these explanations. And remember to connect. Let's talk. I'm available. Connect with me on LinkedIn. Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe. Leave your like, your thumbs up if you really liked it. Have your comments. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching.